Hello, friends, and welcome to Basic Conversational Level 1 of Mandarin language. In today's session, we will learn about Chinese language and what are we going to cover in this course. Okay, so let's start off. As you see, I have written here Mandarin Chinese. Now, what happens very commonly when we speak, we say Chinese language. But when I say Chinese language, it actually includes many languages which are spoken in China. But what we are going to learn is called Mandarin Chinese. Okay, so why we are learning Mandarin Chinese? So, Mandarin Chinese is the most common Chinese language. It's a widely spoken language in China. It is also official language of mainland China, Taiwan, and one of the official languages of Singapore. This Mandarin Chinese has also been referred as important tomorrow's language. It has also been called as future language or global language. Now it is because of increased academic interest and the trade or business which is happening between China and India and China and other countries, the demand for this language has really gone up. Now, next coming to the difference between spoken and written Chinese. Now, if you remember, I have mentioned that in the level 1, we only teach about spoken part, not the reading and writing part. So, what's the reason behind that? So, I'll just explain you how the spoken part is different from reading and writing part. I'll just take a very simple word which is hello, and this is how we say hello in Mandarin, which is like ni hao, and this is how we write it. Okay, now you see these are called Chinese characters. Okay, but this is a spoken part of Chinese. So if you can see here, there is not much of a similarity between the spoken part and reading and writing part. Okay, now this system where we are using English alphabets to pronounce Chinese character, this system is a standardized system which we call it as a pinyin. Okay, and a pinyin is basically used to learn the spoken Chinese. Okay, but before we go to pinyin, which is what we are going to do in level 1, before we go to pinyin, we'll just understand how these Chinese characters have been evolved. Okay, now when we learn any language, any new language, so what we start off with, we usually start off with alphabets. But unlike other languages, Mandarin language does not have alphabets. So what it has Chinese characters. So basically it's called as Hanzi. So these Chinese characters are actually a pictorial pictures of a real object. So it has been evolved as a pictorial language, and early forms of Chinese characters, like when they started communicating through writing, how they started is they started to have a picture of an object. Like suppose if I have to write water, so I have to draw a picture of water. So that is how these characters have been come into a picture. So if just to make you explain this, if you look at this slide, this is the picture of fire and this is how they started writing it, and this is the picture or character for fire. So if I have to write fire, so I'll use this character. And similarly for tree you can see, and similarly for mountains. Okay, now what happens, there are around 20,000 Chinese characters total, but really we don't really need to learn all 20,000 characters. If we know 6,000 plus characters, so those are the characters which are used in everyday life, and the other words are the combination of these characters. Okay, now these Chinese characters again fall into two categories, that is simplified and traditional. And as the name suggests, the simplified are the simpler forms and traditional will be little complex characters. Now what is the difference between simplified and traditional? So it's basically number of strokes. So when I write Chinese characters, so there are number of strokes which are involved. In simplified characters, there are lesser number of strokes compared to traditional. Just to make you understand this concept, if you look at these two characters, these are the characters for Guo, which means country, and I'm sure you can make out which is simplified and which is traditional. So can you guess which is simplified and which is traditional? Yes, so here the one on your left side is a traditional and the another one on your right side is simplified. Okay, and another thing about the simplified and traditional characters is it's not like all the characters are classified into simplified and traditionals. It's only 1,000 plus characters which have two forms, like traditional as well as simplified. Now, what happens? A single character may have some meaning in itself, or it may have some object, but the same character you can combine with another character to form a totally new meaning, or totally new word, or related meaning. So, just again to make you understand this, if you look at this, this is a word for a hand, which is shao, and this is the word for machine, any kind of machine, that is G. Okay, so shao G, when we put together, that is the word for mobile. Now, another interesting thing about Chinese as a language, or China as a country, they don't accept any foreign word. So here, even when in India, if I speak Hindi or if I speak any other language, there are many words which are use of English, but they don't accept any word as English. So they have to translate it into their language. So that is how they come with the concepts. So similarly, the word for aeroplane is fei ji, which means flying machine. Okay. That was a one way of forming new words. So this is the another way. If you know the character for tree, so what happens when you put two tree characters together, it becomes woods. When you put three tree characters together, it becomes forest. So that is another concept, or another way of forming new words with the present characters. Okay. Next, again, this is very interesting, Chinese character. So, if you look at this character, it's a character for boat, and it consists of three parts. So, first part means vessel, the second part means number eight, and the third part is a word for a person or people. So, it actually means a vessel which can hold eight people. So, maybe that boats, what they have in ancient China, in that only eight people can sit, or it can hold only eight people. So that's how they come with the concept of character for boat. So don't you find it interesting? Okay, so that was all about Chinese characters. Next, we'll go to pinyin. So, as I told you, in pinyin, we are using English alphabets to pronounce Chinese characters. Again, this is a standardized system which was developed in 1950s. And pinyin itself means, a pinyin is again, it's a Mandarin word which itself means spelling out sounds, that you are making the sounds of Chinese characters. So, till now, what do you think? Is it hard to learn? Right? Okay, so maybe some of you think it's hard to learn, and some of you may think it's easier. So let's find out, what is it, hard or is it easier? Okay, so it is a bit hard, when it comes to reading and writing part, because these Chinese characters are really difficult to memorize, and one stroke here and there means completely different character. But it is comparatively easier when it comes to reading and write. When it comes to spoken part. Okay, so there are a few points which makes it much easier and quicker to learn as compared to other languages. So what are those points? So the first thing is, it does not have any subject verb agreement. So in English, if I am saying sentences, I have to say he is, I am, you are. But in Mandarin language, there is a single verb which goes with all subjects. So we really don't need to change verb every time we are changing subjects. Next, it has very less use of plurals. So again, when in English I'm saying, if I have to say 10 apples, I cannot say 10 apple. But here the concept is, if you mention number, it's understood that it's a plural. So you really don't have to use plural in such context. Next is, you cannot go wrong in terms of tenses. Again, if I compare it to the English, like in English, if I am saying sentences like, yesterday I went to market, today I am going to market, tomorrow I will go to market. So every time I'm changing the tense, I have to change my sentence also. But again, when you are forming a simple sentences in Mandarin language, you really don't need to worry about the tenses. So my sentences in Mandarin will go, yesterday I go to temple, today I go to temple, tomorrow I go to temple. And again, like moment you mention time, it's understood past, present or future. Next is, it has a very simple numbering system. Okay, so once you know number from 0 to 10, you can easily say numbers till 1000. And once you know number, it's easy to remember days of the week, months in a year. So that's also related to number. The next and the last point is, it has very simple preposition. So in English we have in, on and at, but here is a single word which replaces in, on and at. So these are some of the points which make spoken Chinese much easier and quicker to learn as compared to other languages. Okay, now a very important part of spoken part of Mandarin is it is a tonal language. So that means it has the based on how you pronounce the word, the meaning changes. So it has total of four tones. One is the high and flat tone, which is little longer tone. The second one is a rising tone. The third one is a falling and rising tone, and the fourth one is a falling tone. Okay, now based on how you pronounce the word, the meaning changes. So just to make you understand this, if I take a very simple word that is ma, if I pronounce it in the first tone ma, it means mother. If I the same ma, if I pronounce it in the third tone ma, it means horse. Okay, so you really need to very careful how you pronounce the words, and which tones you are using. So you have to use the right tone to pronounce the word what you really mean. Now, since in the level 1 we are going to learn about pinyin syllabi, so we just come to pinyin syllabi. It consists of three parts, that is initials, finals, and tones. And since we are going to use English alphabet, so these initials are our consonants of English alphabets, finals are our vowels, and we have total of 5 vowels, but here I have written 6 because there is one special finals here. And then we have tones. Again, I showed you 4 tones, and I'm writing here 5 because some of the words does not have any tone on it, and they called it as a neutral tone. Okay, so in today's session we'll end here, and from the next session onwards we will just see all the initials, finals, and tones. How do we pronounce it, and how do we how some of the initials are different from English language, and how even finals are pronounced differently from English language, and how same word but 4 different tones or 5 different tones, how it is pronounced. Okay, thank you so much for today's session. Hope to see you in the next session. Have a good day.